This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. One wrong step after age 60 could be your last step of independence. Bad circulation is secretly turning your legs into brittle glass, starving your bones of the nutrients they need to stay whole. There are 5 signs your blood flow is failing, and sign number 3 is the one that tricks everyone into doing nothing until their mobility finally snaps. Look at your legs right now. Really look at them. If you are over 60, you might be walking on a ticking time bomb, and the terrifying truth is that you probably don't even hear it ticking. Imagine a morning that starts just like any other. You reach for your slippers, you prepare to stand up, but the pillars of your life, the legs that have carried you faithfully for 6 decades, simply refuse to hold you. You feel a sickening snap, a loss of balance, and in a heartbeat, your world shrinks to the size of a hospital bed. This isn't just a bad dream. For thousands of seniors, this is the brutal reality of a silent shutdown. Most people believe that losing the ability to walk or suffering a catastrophic fracture is just a matter of bad luck or a sudden trip. They are wrong. It is a slow, agonizing betrayal from within that begins months, even years, before the first fall. Your legs are being starved of the very lifeblood they need to survive, turning them into brittle glass while you go about your day, oblivious to the danger. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are here because you deserve to know the truth about what is happening beneath the surface of your skin before the damage becomes irreversible. If you want to protect your independence and ensure you never become a prisoner in your own home, please subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to continue creating these vital guides that can quite literally save your life. Before we dive into the 5 signs that could determine your future, I want to plant a single haunting thought in your mind. I want you to carry this thought with you through every word of this video. Your legs are the hardest working parts of your body. They have carried you through every joy, every struggle, and every mile of your life. They hold up the entire weight of your existence, and they do it quietly, never asking for a how do you do. But they do have one non-negotiable requirement. They need blood. They need a steady, pulsing, warm supply of oxygen and nutrients to keep the muscles supple and the bones strong. When that flow slows down, when it gets blocked or sluggish, your legs don't scream at first. They whisper. They send quiet, sneaky signals that most people dismiss as just part of getting older. But getting older should not mean losing the right to stand on your own 2 feet. If you ignore these whispers, you are choosing to ignore the foundation of your freedom. Today, we are breaking the silence. We are covering the 5 sneaky signs of bad leg circulation that you absolutely cannot afford to ignore, especially sign number 3, which is the most deceptive of them all. Let's look at the first warning your body is sending you. Before we move on, I want you to take a moment of deep reflection. Please answer this question in the comments below. When you think about your future, what is your greatest fear regarding your health? A, losing my independence and the ability to walk on my own. B, having to rely on others for every basic daily task. Type A or B in the comments. Your honesty helps us understand what matters most to you. The first sign is something so subtle that most people mention it with a laugh, never realizing it is a cry for help from their circulatory system. It's the sensation of ice. Have you noticed that your feet are always cold, even when the rest of the body feels perfectly warm? You might be sitting in a comfortable room, perhaps even under a blanket, yet your toes feel like they belong to a statue. This isn't just a quirk of your metabolism. After 60, the extremities are the farthest outposts of your biological empire. When blood flow starts to struggle, the warmth of your core never quite makes it to the border. Think back to the last few mornings. Did your feet feel unusually chilled before you even stepped onto the floor? If they take an eternity to warm up, even after you've been moving, your body is telling you that the supply lines are failing. It is a small thing, but in the world of vascular health, small things are the harbingers of disaster. Moving to the second sign, we find a visible change that often goes unnoticed until the end of the day. It's the ghost of your clothing. When you take your socks off, do you see a deep, angry ring indented into your skin where the elastic sat? Or perhaps you've noticed that your favorite shoes fit perfectly at breakfast, but feel like torture devices by dinner. This puffiness, this swelling around the ankles, is a physical manifestation of blood pooling. When your veins lose the strength to push blood back up toward your heart, gravity wins. The fluid has nowhere to go, so it leaks out into your tissues, creating a heavy, bloated sensation. You can check this right now. Press your finger into the skin just above your ankle for 5 seconds. If the dent remains, staring back at you for several seconds before the skin bounces back, you are witnessing pitting. This isn't just water weight. It is a sign that your circulatory system is under immense pressure, a pressure that will eventually cause the skin to break down if left unaddressed. Then we reach the third sign, the one I warned you about, the one that flies under the radar of almost everyone. It is the change in the skin itself. People often look at their lower legs and see a patch of skin that looks shiny, almost like it's been polished. Or they notice a strange, rusty, brownish discoloration near the ankles. They assume it's dry skin or perhaps a bit of a tan from years ago. They apply lotion and move on. But lotion cannot fix what is happening inside. This discoloration is actually caused by tiny amounts of blood leaking from high-pressure veins into the surrounding tissue. As the blood cells break down, they leave behind iron deposits that stain the skin from the inside out. This skin becomes fragile, thin, and prone to itching that no cream can soothe. If you have a small nick or scratch on your leg that takes weeks to heal, your body is signaling that it no longer has the resources to repair itself. This is the stage where the glass legs truly begin to form. The fourth sign is a profound, unexplainable heaviness. It isn't the healthy tiredness you feel after a long walk. It's the feeling that your legs have been replaced by lead weights. You find yourself dragging them along, and every step feels like an uphill battle. This often comes with the terror of night cramps, those sudden agonizing seizures in your calves that bolt you upright in the dark. These cramps are the screams of muscles that are literally suffocating. When muscle tissue is deprived of even a fraction of the oxygen it needs, it reacts with violence. Some people notice this most when they walk. The legs ache and tighten, demanding that you sit down. You might tell yourself you're just out of shape, but if the pain vanishes the moment you rest, it is a classic sign that your arteries cannot keep up with the demand. Finally, the fifth sign is the most famous, but perhaps the most ignored: the bulging, twisting lines of varicose veins. These dark purple or blue cords are not just a cosmetic nuisance. They are evidence of broken valves, the one-way doors in your veins that have finally given way. When these doors fail, blood flows backward, stretching the vein until it bulges against the skin. While many people live with these for years, they are the ultimate proof that your system is operating at a fraction of its capacity. They contribute to the heaviness, the swelling, and the eventual skin changes we've discussed. Each of these 5 signs is a piece of a puzzle, and if you see more than one in your own life, the picture they are painting is one of urgent, critical need. Your body is listening to how you respond to these warnings. The question is, are you listening back? Now that we have identified the 5 silent messengers of your circulatory system, we must look deeper at why your body is struggling so much more now that you are over 60. There is a magnificent piece of biological engineering in your lower legs that many people are never taught about. It is often referred to by experts as your second heart. While the heart in your chest is a powerful pump responsible for pushing oxygenated blood out to the farthest reaches of your body, it cannot do the work of the return journey alone. Gravity is a relentless force, and for the blood in your feet to travel back up to your chest, it needs help. That help comes from your calf muscles. Every time you take a step, every time you flex your ankle, those muscles contract and squeeze the deep veins in your legs, forcing the blood upward through those one-way valves we discussed earlier. However, as we age, we often face a quiet thief known as muscle loss, or sarcopenia. If those calf muscles begin to thin or weaken, your second heart begins to fail. It becomes a sluggish pump, leaving blood to pool and stagnate around your ankles. This is why senior nutrition is so much more than just a diet. It is a lifeline. To keep this second heart beating strong, your body requires specific building blocks. It starts with hydration. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, more viscous, and much harder for your muscles to push against gravity. Imagine trying to pump water versus trying to pump thick molasses. Senior nutrition also demands a focus on electrolytes like magnesium and potassium, which has the electrical signals that tell your muscles when to contract. Without them, your second heart misfires, leading to the cramps and heaviness we have talked about. Furthermore, your blood vessels themselves need the structural integrity provided by specific vitamins to remain elastic rather than brittle. You aren't just aging, you are experiencing a biological starvation where your muscles and vessels are gasping for the fuel they need to keep you standing. Understanding this connection between the strength of your calf muscles and the quality of the nutrients you consume is the first step toward reclaiming your vitality. Your legs are not failing because they are old. They are failing because the system that supports them has been neglected. By prioritizing targeted senior nutrition and intentional movement, you are not just helping your legs, you are reviving the very engine that keeps you mobile and independent. Knowing the mechanics of your second heart is the foundation, but knowledge without action is just a map you never follow. You might feel overwhelmed, thinking that a recovery plan requires hours at a gym or equipment you do not have. But the truth is far gentler. You can begin to rewrite your story in just 10 minutes a day, using nothing more than the space you are standing in right now. The most powerful tool at your disposal is the heel raise. It is a deceptively simple movement, yet it is the direct ignition switch for your second heart. By standing behind a sturdy chair for balance and slowly rising onto your toes, you are manually pumping that stagnant blood back toward your heart. Imagine the relief your veins feel when that pressure is finally released. Do this while you wait for your morning tea or while you watch the news. These small, rhythmic contractions re-educate your muscles and remind them of their duty to support your circulation. The second pillar of your recovery is the art of elevation. We spend so much of our lives fighting gravity that we forget we can make it work for us. When you sit down to rest in the afternoon, do not just put your feet on a stool. Use a few pillows to lift your ankles so they are slightly higher than the level of your heart. In this position, the return journey for your blood becomes a downhill slide. Within minutes, the throbbing heaviness often begins to dissipate as the fluid that has leaked into your tissues is encouraged to drain away. This is a moment of deep healing for your legs, a time for the vessels to rest and recover from the day's pressure. Beyond these exercises, you must adopt the 1-hour rule. Our bodies were never designed for the prolonged stillness of modern life. Every hour, stand up for just 60 seconds. Pace the room, stretch your calves, or simply move your ankles in circles. This prevents the blood from settling and clotting in the deep recesses of your veins. When you combine these movements with a commitment to hydration, you are giving your legs a fighting chance. You are proving to your body that you are no longer ignoring its cries for help. These 10 minutes are an investment in a future where you walk with confidence, free from the fear of failing strength. Start small, because small is still a victory. We have journeyed through the 5 silent signals of your body's hidden language, and now we must bring them into sharp focus so they are etched into your mind. Let us recap these vital messengers. Sign 1 is the icy touch of feet and toes that never seem to warm, even when you are resting in a heated room. Sign 2 is the regular swelling and the pitting that tell of fluid being forced into your tissues because your veins can no longer hold the line. Sign 3 is the most deceptive of all, the shiny, tight, or discolored skin that warns of intense internal pressure and fragile tissues. Sign 4 is the heavy leaden ache and the midnight screams of cramping muscles that are literally gasping for oxygen. Finally, sign 5 is the visible, bulging cords of veins that have lost their structural integrity. You do not need to experience all 5 of these for it to be time to act. Even a single whisper from this list is a signal that your foundation is under significant stress. I know how easy it is to look the other way. Life is loud, and the thought of medical appointments or lifestyle changes can feel like a heavy burden. There is a part of all of us that fears knowing the truth because we fear what it might mean for our freedom. However, the greatest danger to your mobility after 60 is not the aging process itself. It is the choice to remain silent in the face of these warnings. The most lethal sign of all is not on the list I just read. The most dangerous sign is the one you noticed this morning or last week and then decided to ignore. It is the one you told yourself was just a normal part of getting older. When you catch these circulatory changes early, your options are gentle, small, and life-affirming. When you wait until the system collapses, the path back becomes steep and difficult. You have spent decades looking after others and carrying the weight of the world. Now, it is time to look down. Your legs have earned the attention they are asking for. They are the pillars of your autonomy, and by paying attention today, you are choosing a future where you remain the master of your own journey, standing tall and moving with the dignity and grace you deserve. Your body is not a machine that is simply wearing out. It is a living, breathing record of every place you have ever been and every person you have ever loved. Every mile you walked to provide for your family, every hour you spent standing in service to your community, and every step you took toward your dreams is written in the strength of your legs. To care for your circulation now is to honor that history and to protect the chapters of your life that have yet to be written. The deepest lesson we can draw from this exploration is that self-preservation is the highest form of gratitude for the life you have been given. We often treat our health as something that happens to us, a matter of luck or genetics. But after 60, health becomes a conscious, daily conversation between your mind and your body. It is an act of stewardship over the most precious vessel you will ever own. To apply this lesson to your life starting today, I want you to adopt the ritual of the 5-minute check-in. Each evening, before you sleep, sit in a quiet place and truly feel your legs. Do not just glance at them. Close your eyes and listen to the sensations. Is there a subtle throb? Is there a coolness that shouldn't be there? This simple act of mindfulness shifts you from being a passive observer of the aging process to being an active, empowered guardian of your own vitality. Furthermore, apply the rule of proactive response. If you see a change in your skin or feel a new heaviness, do not wait for it to become a crisis. Adjust your senior nutrition to support your veins, increase your movement even by a few steps, and consult a professional you trust. The application of this knowledge is what separates those who simply grow old from those who grow wise and stay strong. You are the architect of your golden years, and a strong, flowing foundation is the only way to ensure the structure of your life stays standing. Do not let the fear of knowing stop you from the joy of doing. Your legs have carried you through the storms of the past 60 years. Now it is your turn to carry them into a future of health and independence. You have worked hard for your freedom, and keeping your blood flowing is the key to keeping that freedom alive. Which of the 5 signs we discussed today do you think is the most important for people to be aware of as they get older? Please share your opinion in the comments below. It is always helpful for the community to see different perspectives and experiences. If you found this guide helpful and want to see more content focused on staying strong and active, please subscribe to EldraFit Nutrition. Your support is what gives us the motivation to keep creating these deep dives into the health topics that matter most to you.